Welcome into Sports with Balls, guys. Hump day on a Wednesday. Absolutely love it. Tons to go over today, man. Tons to get into. I'm excited about it. Baseball playoffs coming up. NFL overreactions. NFL underreactions. There's a lot, man. There is a ton. Welcome into the show. I'm Jeff Michael, your host, as always, right here on Sports with Balls. If you're listening on podcast, appreciate you. If you're listening live on what are the 7 platforms that we're on, leave me a comment. I'll try to get to it as soon as I can. If not, I'll hit it up after the show. Man, first off, let's get this out of the way. Today, we do the national holidays, and today's a big one because today is National Hamburger Day. That's right. Is it hamburger or cheeseburger? It's one of the other ones. And, of course, get over to Christian's Tailgate Bar and Grill. Award-winning hamburgers. They're just a place to be, man. It's unbelievable. Get over to Christian's Tailgate. Go get yourself a burger. 5 Houston area locations. If you are here locally, go grab one. Get over to Christian's Tailgate. All right, what else we got? Today is not the 16th. Where are we at? Today, September the 18th. Cheeseburger Day. I already went over that one. National First Love Day. Ooh. Got to ask my producer Ryan over here about First Love Day. I think I know his. What else we got? Hug a Greeting Card Writer Day. What the hell is that? Chiropractic Founders Day. Good for them. I'm a big fan. Got a guy here locally that I use. He's pretty good. What else we got? Locate an Old Friend Day. So not only is it First Love Day, it's also Locate an Old Friend Day. Shout out to Paul Puckett, one of my older friends, or Brad Stearns, one of y'all. HIV, AIDS, and Aging Awareness Day. All right. National Respect Day. Put some respect on that name. Nico Collins. All right. That's it. National Report Kickback Fraud Day. Oh, my gosh. Read an ebook day. Purple Brawl Day. There we go. Ladies, if y'all didn't know it, if you're listening to the show, today is National Purple Brawl Day. School Backpack Awareness Day. Rice Krispie Treat Day. That's a good one. U.S. Air Force Day. There you go. Water Monitoring Day. Dude, some of these things, man, I swear some of these things are unbelievable. We got any athletes' birthdays today? No. John McAfee's birthday. There's a story. Go look that up. Lance Armstrong. There you go. There's your athlete of the day. If you, I don't know how you feel about Lance. Apparently, and this is just my take on Lance Armstrong. Happy birthday to you. Apparently, every single person was doping. He was just one of the best ones doing it. So, there you go. There's my take on that. That whole thing, baseball, cycling, whatever. I think, look, we're not going to go down that rabbit hole. I'm not here to do that. But welcome into the show. We'll get into events in today's history later on. We'll go over that. But we've got a big show today, so let's dive into it. Starting off with the NFL. Let's see, breaking news, if you will. Pacheco goes on the IL. Adrian Wojnarowski retires from ESPN. I hope he writes a book. I love Woj, and I want to see what he has to say about the ESPN, and it'd be nice to see a book out of old Woj. Wojnarowski? Wojnarowski. Let's see, what else we got going on? The Houston Texans just put their starting tight end on injured reserve. There's a lot of IRs right now, guys. I mean, a lot. You go check your fantasy team. Obviously, Pacheco's gone. Kareem Hunt got signed. He's to the practice squad. They also signed one other player. And they've also got, I didn't want to tell anybody this until after the waiver wire was done, but Clyde Edwards-Helaire is coming back in week 5 for the Chiefs as well. So you're going to have like 5 running backs in the Chiefs room. Pretty interesting. Kareem Hunt, Isaiah Pacheco, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Sami Joan Pirine. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of running backs there. And then the fullback they got, well, a.k.a. running back. By the way, that kid scored 9. What's his name? He scored 9 touchdowns last year for the Chiefs. So we'll see. The running back room in Kansas City, absolutely slammed. I don't trust any of them as far as fantasy football is concerned. Everybody's in uproar about Travis Kelce not getting off to a fast start. Guys, they're 2-0. Look, they're 2-0. I don't care if you look at Patrick Mahomes' numbers and you put him in the bottom 10 QBs this year. They're 2-0. That's all that matters. And they haven't even gotten their groove. I mean, unfortunately, that's just the way it is. They haven't even come close to catching any sort of groove, and the Kansas City Chiefs are 2-0. So there's two ways to look at it. For me, I'd be scared. Rashid Rice looks to be an all-star or all-pro wide receiver. If Kelce catches fire and Mahomes starts throwing his stuff correctly, look, guys, they're playoffs and Super Bowl bound, I would assume. So I guess the big shocker to me so far this week was when all the power rankings came out and everybody had the Houston Texans in the top 3. That to me is mind-blowing. I like the Houston Texans. I do. I don't think they showed a ton this past weekend, Sunday night. Looks like they're very beatable. I believe they have the Minnesota Vikings coming up this weekend. Tough game. We're going to find out. We'll see. I wouldn't put them up there yet. Tomorrow, as a matter of fact, I'll do my top 5, bottom 5. We'll see if they make the top 5. Well, I can tell you right now who's in the bottom. Tua Tagovailoa for the Miami Dolphins is on IR. I'm on the side of him retiring. I really, really am. I like Tua a lot. I loved him in college. I like the whole story out of Alabama when he came in and won the game for him. Watching that guy's hands and watch him get concussed like that 3 times already in the last few years is that's tough to watch. Coach, player, I don't know how the NFLPA would allow him to get back on or the NFL allow him to get back on the field. That is a brutal thing to watch. But then again, we saw Damar Hamlin die on the field, and he's back out there. In fact, he was the one that hit Tua to cause him to get concussed. I hate that for him. If I'm him, family means more than anything. He said that numerous times. I know he's a baller. I get it. He's a player. He wants to play. Hang it up, bro. Nobody's going to be mad at you. And as far as the talent that Miami has in there, you guys got to go get a quarterback, man. There's tons of them out there. Things like this happen every single year. A starting quarterback with an incredible roster gets hurt, and they just go down the drain. Backup quarterbacks, man. Backup quarterbacks. Let's see who the Dolphins are playing the next 4 or 5 games. Let's see what we got. They have Seahawks coming up this Sunday. Tough game. Titans, not that tough a game. Patriots, not that tough a game. Colts. So maybe if Tua's ready by Arizona on October 27th, then they have the Bills, Rams, Raiders, Patriots. They have a fairly easy schedule. I realize the Seahawks are 2-0. Maybe the Seahawks are for real. I just don't know yet. The Seahawks and the Bucks, I think the Bucks are more real than the Seahawks. But, if I'm Tua Tagovailoa, I don't play again this year, and I consider not playing ever again. And nobody would be mad at Tua. Now, Dolphin fan may be pissed off. That's why you got to go get somebody. You have to go after somebody somewhere. There's tons of great quarterbacks out there that could probably lead you to the playoffs. If this guy gets hit, if Tua Tagovailoa gets hit one more time and you see that, what's the consequence then? It's over, right? You're just like, his career would have to be absolutely over. Why even risk that? Are you saying that Tua's never going to get hit like that again? Because I guarantee you he will. Guaranteed he will. That is a rough thing for me to sit there and watch. So we'll see what happens with Tua and the Miami Dolphins in that whole situation over there. Right now, Buffalo Bills are in the lead in that division 2-0. Surprising, actually. Tight end hasn't played well. They're plus 27 in differential. Are the Buffalo Bills defense for real? Plus 27 in 2 games. I'm not even going to get into the Saints. They're plus 62. That's ridiculous. Saints are plus 62. And they played the Cowboys already. Woo! Patriots are 1-1. Jets. Pittsburgh Steelers. We talked about that on Monday's show. Dude, the guy just knows how to get it done. He knows how to get the best out of his players, man. Justin Fields is 2-0. The Bengals and Joe Burrow 0-2. And Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens 0-2 with a minus 10 differential. Is that the biggest shocker? The Ravens being 0-2, is that the biggest shock of the entire season so far? Probably. You could say Minnesota maybe, but I would say that's the reigning MVP of the league. They're 0-2, and they don't look good. At signing Derrick Henry in the offseason. This team, on paper, and in our minds, should have been blowing people out. Killing, destroying people. They should be the New Orleans Saints, but they are not. Derrick Henry actually is his numbers are not bad. Just they don't look good, man. The Ravens don't seem like they have it together. Now, again, beginning of the show, I told you, overreactions and underreactions. This is overreaction for the Baltimore Ravens. If they go 0-3, major problems. Major problems for the Baltimore Ravens if they lose to you-know-who this coming up Sunday. Yep, the Dallas Cowboys. One of those teams is going to walk away from the game this Sunday going, oh, shit. If the Ravens are 0-3, oh, shit. Cowboys 1-2, oh, shit. Guaranteed. That is a huge game and for week 3 of the NFL season. And you wouldn't expect it. If these teams were both 2-0, which they probably were expected to be going into that game, it wouldn't have mattered. So what? You go 2-1, played a good team, close game, awesome. One of these teams is walking out of there with too many losses for week 3. Guaranteed. Let's move on down to AFC West. Well, AFC South, man. The Houston Texans at 2-0 already have a 2-game lead on the division because the Colts, the Jags, and the Titans are all 0-2, and none of them look good. The Texans could almost mail it in by week 8. That's how bad this division is. And we all thought a little bit different. I thought Jonathan Taylor for the Colts was going to come out strong. Anthony Richardson, I thought he was going to have a better beginning to the season. No. Anthony Richardson is really close to being benched. Really, really close. He does not look good. It is a bad situation in Indy. Jacksonville Jaguars. Man, is Trevor Lawrence, is he that guy? I'm starting to see little seeds of doubt in Trevor Lawrence for the Jacksonville Jaguars that I've never seen before. It just looks like they're off. It doesn't look like they believe in Trevor, and the fan base is starting to think that way as well. So things are different in Jacksonville for sure. Tennessee's playing with house money. They didn't expect to be good this year. If they were, great. If they're not great, it doesn't matter. I don't think Tennessee, they lost Derrick Henry in the offseason. We all know. And so I think the Tennessee Titans are playing with house money. If they lose, it's draft picks, central. Like they're rebuilding. I'll say that. But the Colts and Jaguars should not be 0-2, and one of them probably will be 0-3 to start the season. Who the Colts got this coming up week? Let's see here. Bears. Woohoo! That'll be an interesting game for one of those teams. And then the Jacksonville Jaguars have the Bills. Ooh. It's so funny. The 2-0 Bills against the 0-2 Jaguars, and watch. You're gonna see the Jaguars pull that off. The NFL, man, the script writers there are on fire. There's so many storylines already. It's unbelievable. The Los Angeles Chargers, AFC West. Chargers and Chiefs, both 2-0. Both look good. Chargers are plus 35. The Chiefs, look, and the reason I say they look good is what I was mentioning earlier. They look terrible so far, and they're 2-0. They just find ways to win. I know. The referees, man, they just give them the game. It was a pass interference call. Should have been called. That's a different storyline. There was a hands to the face that maybe shouldn't have been called prior to that. Bottom line is Chiefs are 2-0. Raiders 1-1, a surprising 1-1. And the Broncos with Sean Payton and Bo Nix look terrible. I expected more. I was a Bo Nix fan. I expected Sean Payton to have his offense somewhat running. And they're 0-2, and they don't look good. They do not look good at all. Before we get into the NFC, I want to thank a couple of more people. Number one being my man Wesley Butler over at Butler CCS, man. Water, fired, mold, whatever you got, man, this man will take care of it. They are water damage restoration. They are master water restorer, ICRC certified firm. They have all the certifications you need, plus insurance. They will take care of anything you got going on. Your house is flooded. You've got fire, anything. If you need a new roof, call Wesley Butler at Butler CCS. Look him up. He is the man. Also, coming up this weekend, Conroe Sports Cards and Collectibles Show. Free admission, 200-plus tables. They've got a giveaway with C.J. Stroud. They've got all kinds of stuff going on this weekend. 2 weeks ago, we had one in Katy, and it was absolutely unbelievable. Get to Conroe Sports Cards and the Collectibles Show this weekend. It's at the Hyatt Regency in Conroe, Texas. Place will be jumping. Go to Sports with Balls on all your social media outlets, and all the information will be up there for both of those companies. All right, off to the NFC. NFC East, Washington Commanders 1-1. The Philadelphia Eagles after Saquon Barkley's drop pass 1-1. Who was happier? Were the Cowboys the happiest when they watched Saquon drop that ball? Did it sort of brush off a little bit of that Saints ass whooping? That's what I think, because they were like, "Whoo, Eagles lost." Because if the Eagles would have gone 2-0, Cowboys 1-1, I would have heard a little bit more. And we're not even going to touch the New York Giants situation. We'll let that unfold as the season gets going. Minnesota Vikings 2-0, surprising, very, very surprising. That division, I think, will be a lot of fun. Look, the Packers, we already talked about this. And by the way, Malik Willis, who got traded or let go from Tennessee, will be facing the Tennessee Titans this week. That'll be a lot of fun. We'll go over those games tomorrow and or Friday. We'll get into this weekend's games. New Orleans Saints, hottest team in the NFL. Derek Carr, Alvin Kamara, that whole team, plus their defense, man. They just look good. The Saints had an incredible defense last year and even the year before. Saints were top 5 defense. Their defense is awesome. And now they've got an offense like this. This is one of the shockers of the NFL right now. I would put them, look, I'll do my top 5, bottom 5 tomorrow. And we'll see where they land, because that's one of the best teams in the NFL right now, if not the best. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. Do you know the Tampa Bay Bucs have more wins than any other NFL team since 2020? The most wins in the entire NFL go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Granted, they have Brady for one of those, but this just proves that last year was not a fluke. Y'all, this team is good. Baker Mayfield making an absolute name for himself. He does this the entire year or continues it next year. You're looking at Baker being a top 5 quarterback. That guy is on point right now. Derek Carr, Baker Mayfield, Gardner Minshew, these are your leaders in the NFL right now. Not Pat Mahomes, not Josh Allen, not Lamar Jackson. Nope. It's Baker Mayfield, Gardner Minshew, and Sam Darnold. These are your quarterbacks in the NFL right now that are blowing people out the door, man. Absolutely insane. Seattle Seahawks playing very well, 2-0. Geno Smith has them rolling. Watch out for the Arizona Cardinals. Obviously, we saw Kyler Murray get going last week with Marvin Harrison Jr. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch as the season goes on. And the Los Angeles Rams, who were kind of a sneaky pick for me, have absolutely been decimated by injuries. Looks like Puka's out, and now you have Cooper Kupp out. And so that's going to be tough. That's going to be a tough road for them. So there's sort of your NFL rundown on what's going on in the AFC and NFC. Like I said, we'll get into this week's games either tomorrow and or Friday. We'll go over my picks for that. But guess what is coming up? The Major League Baseball playoffs. We are 12 games away, basically 13 days away from playoffs in Major League Baseball. This and the wild card races are on. I'm going to go over these with you right now. The 3 wild cards in the American League are Baltimore Orioles, Kansas City Royals, and the Minnesota Twins. But the Detroit Tigers are a game and a half after going 8-2 in their last 10. They're a game and a half out of that final wild card spot. That's right. The Detroit Tigers, who no one thought was going to make it to the playoffs, they are a game and a half back and look to be getting there. Look, the Seattle Mariners are 3 games back. They're in the division with Houston. Now, the Houston Astros and the Seattle Mariners play a 3-game set in 4 or 5 days from now that could mean a lot. Astros are 5 games up at this point in the season right now. If they go 6 or 7 up, it's over. We understand that. But it could get tricky if the Seattle Mariners are in striking distance in about 5 days when they go down to Houston and have a 3-game set. That'll be very interesting. After that, you've got the Boston Red Sox 5 games back and the Rays 6 game, and then it's out after that. I don't think those guys have a chance. A's eliminated, Angels eliminated, and the 36 and 116 Chicago White Sox are eliminated. Now, moving over to the National League, San Diego Padres, New York Mets, and the Arizona Diamondbacks right now lead your wild card race. The Braves, that's right, the Braves are out right now. Only 2 games back, though, of the Diamondbacks. But as of right now, they are out. And the Chicago Cubs are 6 games back. And the St. Louis Cardinals are 7 games back. Eliminated teams are the Pirates, Nationals, Rockies, Marlins. For all intents and purposes, the San Francisco Giants are pretty much eliminated, and the Cincinnati Reds. Cardinals are 7 games. I don't really see them making a push, but we'll see. Your true contenders right there are the Braves. Cubs are 6 and Cardinals are 7. I don't see that happening. But both those races seem to be getting very, very, very interesting. And you gotta understand that the standings in the divisions are also very tight in those. I told you about Houston and Mariners. Mariners are 5 games back at Houston. I think if Houston goes 6 or 7 up, obviously it's over. They're not gonna have time to come back. Baltimore Orioles are 4 games back in the division of the Yankees, but the Orioles are 3-7 in their last 10 games, but it looks like they have a wild card spot locked up. Over the National League, Philadelphia Phillies, they've already pretty much clinched the East. I think they need 1 more win. The Mets are pretty much a lock in the wild card. Then you have the Braves 10 games back in that division. Brewers clinched their division. They're 10 games up on the Cubs. And then the good one is the Dodgers and Padres and Diamondbacks. All 3, I believe, are going to make the playoffs. But, man, that's a lot of fun over there. That is a lot of fun. We'll see what happens. What's tonight's games, I believe the Astros have 1 more set with the Padres. Oakland is at Chicago with Steele on the mound. That's a big game for Chicago. They need that. Diamondbacks at the Rockies. They got to win that. White Sox and Angels, just go there for some autographs. Nobody's caring about that game. Orioles have Kramer on the mound at home against the Giants. Braves, they need to win. They've got to. They face the Reds in Cincinnati with Junis on the mound, who's 4-0 with a 2.73. That's a huge game for Atlanta. Before mentioned, Astros at the Padres. Dylan Cease on the mound. Versus Framber Valdez. That is a good game at 5:40 Central Time. Dodgers and Marlins should be speaking of the Dodgers, did y'all hear the story about Tyler Glasnow, who had just disappeared? I believe he had to have surgery for the Dodgers, and he was done for the season. But apparently they came into the locker room. All of his stuff is wiped out. with no warning. Nobody said anything, and Tyler Glasnow had just taken off from the Dodgers. That's a story to watch. That's interesting. And the other one, obviously, is Shohei Ohtani, who has 48 and 48 now, going to be the only member of the 50-50 squad if he can get it. Talk about a baseball card worth a ton of money. Can you imagine a one-of-one Shohei Ohtani 50-50 card, like signed? Woo! Somebody hook me up. Twins and Guardians at 540. Great baseball game right there. Red Sox and Rays, another good baseball game. Nationals at the Mets, Tigers at the Royals, Phillies at the Brewers, Pirates and Cardinals. That'll be fun just for if you're there. I went to the St. Louis Stadium for the first time this past year, and it was phenomenal. Blue Jays, Rangers, and at the end of the night, Yankees at the Mariners. Cortez versus Miller. All right, today's events in sports history. Let's see if we got some good ones in here. Baseball record. Future Hall of Fame pitcher Red Ruffing hits 2 home runs to beat the St. Louis Browns 76 at Sportsman's Park in St. Louis. I was just talking about that. Joe Louis KOs Tammy Morello in the first round for a heavyweight boxing title in 1946. The late, great Joe Louis. Let's see. Willie Mays hits a record-tying 9th home run at Ebbets Field, ties Joe Adcock. 1956, Mickey Mantle is the 8th to hit 50 home runs in a season. I bring that up because obviously Shohei Ohtani has 2 more to get to 50, and he'll be an exclusive club. I don't know exactly how many people are in that 50 home run club, but he'll be there. Do you count Sammy and McGuire in there and Bonds? Because that'll be interesting. Mickey Mantle also celebrated his 2,000th game at Yankee Stadium this day in 1965. And 1966, Baltimore quarterback Johnny Unitas throws 4 touchdowns pass as they beat the Minnesota to surpass Y.A. Tittle as the NFL's career leader with 212. Johnny Unitas finished his career with 290 touchdown passes, way before his time. Great player. 1976, Cleveland Indians player/manager Frank Robinson's last game as a player. Wow. And it's Brooks Robinson night in Baltimore this night in 1977. Let's see. Tim Raines stuff. What else we got? 1987. Trying to find some more interesting stuff. Let's say the Ducks. The LA Mighty Ducks play their first NHL preseason game against the Penguins in 1993. Roger Clemens ties his own Major League record with 20 strikeouts on this day in 1996. That's awesome. And Wayne Rooney was banned. England football player Wayne Rooney pleads guilty to drunk driving, is banned for driving for 2 years this day in 2017. All right, guys, it's National Cheeseburger Day. Get over to Chris's Tailgate. Go to chrisstailgate.com. Find one near you. You got flooding? You got a mold problem? You got a fire in your house? You got anything? Get in touch with Butler CCS. Call them. Get in touch with them. Look on Sports with Balls, or just go to Butler CCS on your any social media site. Pull them up. Get in touch with Wes over there. He will take care of you. And also, this coming weekend, Conroe Sports Cards and Collectibles Show, 200 plus tables, free event, absolutely phenomenal. Get over there. I'm Jeff Michael. This is Sports with Balls. We'll see you tomorrow, guys.